Today you will want to have a wall space handy and available for you. And we'll go ahead and begin with our legs up the wall. So for today's practice, you may want to have the hips a little further away from the wall, depending on how open your hips feel in terms of external rotation. We're going to move into basically a reclined pigeon or swan pose. So start to bend into the knees, just planting the feet about hips distance onto the wall in front of you. And then you'll see how close the knees are in towards you. That's where your other ankle is going to cross. So you'll want to kind of gauge it to where you feel like it'll feel best in your hips. I like to have a little space between me and the wall to start with. And then you'll take your right leg and go ahead and lift your hips off the earth as you press the left foot into the wall so you can tuck that outer ankle across the thigh and then sink your hips back down. You'll know right away if it's a little too much, if it's not quite enough yet. And then just allow yourself to settle in here once you've found a good starting point in terms of sensation. You want to keep this right ankle somewhat active, but it doesn't have to be really strong here. A little healthy stress is good for our joints. So allow there to be pressure as long as it feels safe and good. And just focus on maintaining the quality of your breath. Deep inhales, complete exhales. Maybe as you're settling in, you gently sway the knees side to side and just kind of experiment the sensations that you feel on one side and then the other. Maybe pausing in those spots where you feel a lot. Over time, if the sensation starts to settle and you want to go a little deeper, the way you can do that is just by moving your hips a little closer to the wall. You could even experiment with placing a block between the wall and your left foot to amplify the intensity. There's never any pressure to go deeper. Really, the way that you deepen your stretch is by staying in it longer. Enjoying about 4 more breaths on this side. Deep, long breaths. Feeling each and every exhale wash over you, allowing you to release what you need to let go of. When you're ready, we'll start to push into the wall once more so we can unravel the right leg. For a moment, just take it straight up the wall. You could take your right hand into the hip crease and give a little massage there to that right hip and thigh. And then we'll go ahead and just move to the other side. So right knee will bend, and then we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Just letting the hips sink and settle. Again, you may need to adjust where your hips are in relation to the wall. This side is likely to be different. And that's okay. I'm just finding a place that feels like a good landing point, and then just use your breath to really settle in. Let yourself kind of engage with those sensations by just acknowledging them. Don't have to analyze them or figure them out, just notice them. And as you start to notice the physical sensations, can you also take time to observe the emotions, the thoughts? Maybe you take in your external surroundings, the sense of smell, of touch, sight. What is it that makes up your unique present moment? Taking in everything you want to capture on your inhales, letting go of everything you want to release on your exhales. There's nothing gripping you or holding you down except that which you decide to take with you. Let's take a couple more breaths here on this side. And when you're ready, you can start to unravel, taking the left leg up the wall and giving that hip crease a little TLC where you feel like you need it. And then go ahead and just begin to guide the knees to the chest. Give yourself a big hug here as you begin to roll onto one side and then press your way up. Coming into a seated position, spine tall, hands meet together at the heart, just feeling the warmth between the hands, a sense of connection, presence, taking with you all that you've decided to keep inside. You've decided to capture from these few moments on your mat today. Namaste.